I've been a fan of DC's Infinite Heroes line for a long time. When I heard that the Green Lantern line coming out this summer based on the movie was going to be more or less a continuation of those figures, I was overjoyed. This seemed like a dream come true. But unfortunately, it seems my dream has become a nightmare. That's kind of why I've been putting off doing this review. It all started with this guy, the Green Lantern early release figure from Toys R Us. The early bird, they called it. I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. I talked about it on the news desk on That New Toy Smell. I just couldn't wait to see the return of Infinite Heroes. And with Green Lantern, that was awesome, right? I mean, it's a little bit taller than a regular Infinite Heroes, but it looks more or less the same. It's based off the movie version, but that's okay. So what's the problem? Well, after getting my hands on this pre-release figure and then getting these Guardians of the Universe 2-packs, that's a Walmart exclusive, I have to say that these are not action figures. I mean, they look like action figures, but you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. The early bird figure came in one of the now standard Matty Collector white mail-order boxes. And of course, once you open it up, you see this neat little box with the Green Lantern logo, and hey look! There's Hal Jordan peeking out from the inside. The back of the box does have this really cool movie-inspired artwork, so Ryan Reynolds fans, this one's for you. And the inside does open to show Hal Jordan flying through space. And it does come with this very nice replica Green Lantern ring from the movie. Now, the style of it is a little different from the classic comic book ring. I mean, it's got the same basic shape to it, but the metal has that weird texture to it, and the green is translucent, but it's actually a very nice prop. It's very heavy, and it feels sturdy, and it feels like it's really made for an adult finger. You could probably wear it out of the house if you wanted to. And the ring can fit inside the display stand that holds your Green Lantern thing up here on top. Now let's switch gears here real quickly to this Green Lantern 2-pack, which includes one of the Guardians of the Universe and a Walmart exclusive. It does feature artwork on the back of the creepy looking Guardians from the new movie and more Ryan Reynolds artwork for you ladies. And the two figures come trapped inside this bubble to help keep them safe, along with the Lantern battery. Unfortunately though, once you get past the packaging, you have these figures. And boy, they are something. I guess if there's one thing you can commend them on, it is the quality of the sculpt. There's a lot of detail in the armor on Green Lantern, and the face does look like Ryan Reynolds. So on that front, they have done a very good job. Even the Guardian is well sculpted with a lot of detail and actually looks pretty nice from top to bottom. But the problem is the articulation, or lack of it. Take a look at those legs. Do you notice any joints in the knee? No, you don't, because they're not there. And what about the elbow joints in the wrist? What kind of articulation do you see there? None? Oh, good call, because they're missing there too. It's funny because when you compare these to the Infinite Heroes figures, it's not an evolution, it's a de-evolution. The first Infinite Heroes figures were kind of clunky and big, but they had a lot more articulation. And then towards the end of the Infinite Heroes line, they were actually some pretty kick-ass figures. So what happened? Well, part of the problem is that Mattel has said that this is a line for kids. Adults can have the big 6-inch figures, and kids can have these figures. But the problem is, these aren't the only 3 3/4 inch to 4-inch figures in the marketplace. And the other ones are a heck of a lot better. Besides, who says that kids don't want figures that you can actually play with? This really doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. And don't think our Guardian friend is really any better. 3 points of articulation. And the body? Well, it's just kind of a hollow shell. Now the head does kind of have this neat translucent effect in the back, but that's really all it's got going for it. The Lantern battery accessory is pretty neat. It's well sculpted. It's got that translucent plastic effect. But because of the lack of articulation in the arms and wrists of Hal Jordan, he can't really hold it that well. And there's no way he can hold it out in front of him to say his sacred oath and recharge his ring, because he'll just topple over like Charlie Sheen on a Friday night. So overall, it's really kind of disappointing. Now, I've tried to highlight some of the positives of these figures, but overall, they are a major disappointment. Which sucks because I was really looking forward to getting these figures. I'm a huge fan of 3 3/4 and 4-inch figures, and these just boggle the mind with the poor design choices and lack of articulation. Sure, some of them can make great display pieces because they won't be moving anyway, just sitting there on your shelf, and you can wear the rings on your fat sausage fingers like mine, but overall, for figures that I was really looking forward to, I'm very sad by how they turned out.
Your day